have to discover the solution.
The solution is here.
You don't have to discover the solution.
The solution is here.
We're here today because 54,000 low-income families in our community spend at least half of their paychecks on housing. We're here today because there are people in our community who work more than 40 hours a week in order to afford a decent place to live. We're here today because many of our young adults still live with their parents because they can't afford to find a decent home to live that's affordable. We're here today because the people working in jobs represented by these signs, child care workers, warehouse workers, janitors, and many others, cannot afford a safe, decent place to live. Is this acceptable?
No!
Is this acceptable?
No!
And some of the people who sleep in their cars, let me just stop here and say, we have a housing crisis in our community. There are people who will sleep on the streets tonight, or in a tent, or in their cars because housing is too expensive. Is this acceptable?
No!
I'm here dressed for those that are homeless, that are sleeping in cars, in tents, under bridges, that can't find a place to stay. They're working, but they don't have enough money to find an affordable place, so they're living in the streets. They don't have families that will take them in. The definition of homelessness by the federal government is just not those that are in the woods, but those that don't have a permanent place to live. Is this acceptable?
No!
We're now asking Sarah Hoskiner to share her story concerning affordable housing.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Sarah. For the past 3 years, I've been the social worker at eviction court. So I have myself assisted 4,000 to 6,000 individuals and families going through their own housing crisis. I speak not just out of ignorance or off the cuff, right? Also myself, I've had a little adventure with finding affordable housing for myself because I became so sick that I was unable to work. Now I've gotten a new job as a customer service associate. I make $23,000 a year, and let me tell you, I'm blessed to be able to live in a tiny studio apartment that costs almost 40% of my income. And I'm really grateful I don't have children, because if I did, and if I had to have a one-bedroom or even a two-bedroom, I would not be able to afford housing. We do not have a personal crisis. We do not have a homelessness crisis. We have a housing crisis. There is not enough affordable housing. When one of the families I talked to at eviction court had the previous day gone to an open house for an apartment, there were 80 other people there at the same time as them, being charged $200 a pop for the privilege of applying for this apartment that was going to be still overpriced for this family. We do not have enough housing. I have spoken to caseworkers who are really just helping people compete for the same limited housing. There is not enough affordable, safe, decent housing in Columbus. People are not, it's not just that people are not able to afford it based on individual factors. The rent is rising. Sometimes the rents of these apartments are rising 2, 3, 5 times per year. We have a housing crisis. We also have money from the state and federal government that our city and county have been allocated to spend to assist with our needs as a city. However, when we did a public records request, the $30 million that was allocated for housing and human services almost all went to human services. dear city and county officials, is for y'all to please actually invest this money in subsidizing, building, and preserving affordable housing for those who are at $30,000 a year and under. We have $70 million that we can use for this. Please use it. And I pass it back to Reverend Lyson.
Thank you, Sarah. We will keep standing up for our neighbors. How many times have we shared the same stories and how it continues to increase the issues that we have with affordable housing? We are here as members of the GRED organization. We are a coalition of religious congregations. Our faith calls for us to stand up for justice. As we stand here on Indigenous Park, People's Day, we remember the native people who lived on this land and who moved to this area. Some of those tribes included the Shawnee tribe, the Delaware tribe, the Ottawa tribe, and the Miami tribe, and others. We remember them, and we remember their suffering. We're standing in the area where for over 60 years the statue of Christopher Columbus stood. The statue was removed in 2020 as many people in our community held protests downtown, demanding racial and economic justice. According to NPR, Mayor Ginther said that after the statue was removed, that this area would be used for artwork that demonstrates our enduring fight against racism and to celebrate the themes of diversity and inclusion. Well, let's look like this today. We're here to look like that today. We're part of that artwork. We come from various portions of our community to stand up for justice for those that have need, those that are marginalized and need. We're demonstrating here today such that we're doing today are often considered, what we're doing today is often considered a bit of theater. As we push for justice, we push for what is right for our fellow citizens. At this time, I turn the mic over to Brother Wynn, who will continue.
Thank you, Pastor Maestro. Our focus today is on families who make less than $30,000 a year. We're talking about people who work one of the jobs listed on these signs. Many of these people are people of color and are excluded and pushed out of their own neighborhoods by gentrification, rising rent, stagnant incomes, and increasing property taxes. These are the people who take care of our children. They keep our offices and schools clean. They make our food at local restaurants. Most importantly, they are our neighbors. In some cases, it is us. Do you believe that we all deserve affordable housing?
Yes.
So do we. We believe that everyone in the community deserves a decent place to live that they can afford. Columbus has a unique opportunity for a big investment into affordable housing with the American Rescue Plan dollars. We learned that city leaders still have $70 million remaining in their ARP budget. I'll repeat, $70 million is remaining. And you know what? The direction of this money is still to be decided. Well, we can help you with that direction. Just like Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, the city of Columbus doesn't have to discover a solution for our housing crisis. We have a message today for Mayor Ginther, City Council, and the Franklin County Commissioners. Join with us in the enduring fight for inclusion, for including our neighbors. We want to see the city and the county each, I said each, put at least $30 million of that money into affordable housing. What do we mean by affordable? Affordable for families who make $30,000 a year or less. You don't have to discover a solution.
here.
You don't have to discover a solution.
The solution is here.
Thank you for your time today.